This episode is brought to you by CarterComics.com. It's your one-stop shop for all your comic needs, whether it be graded or raw. Carter Comics has got it all. All you gotta do is go to CarterComics.com, fill your card up with all their amazing comics. Use the discount code FREAKNET, FREAKNET. Save you 10% at checkout. Not only on their website, but also at their eBay account. And the link to eBay can be found on their homepage at CarterComics.com. Again, CarterComics.com is your one-stop shop for all comic needs. What's up, everybody? I am Travesty.
And I'm Cartoon Joe.
And welcome back to another episode of This Freakin' Show. It is the weekly podcast with a little bit of something and a whole lot of nothing. And I guess around holiday times, I guess it's easier to say we're the monthly long podcast.
Yeah, seems like it.
Holidays are rough, dude. They are. You know?
Busy.
A lot of respect to those who are capable of holding down podcasting and real lives and all that.
Mm-hmm.
But it's good seeing you again. It's good catching up with you. I think last time we spoke was close to a month ago. Yeah.
Sounds about right.
Yeah. That's fine. People are still watching the shows. They're still catching up on all our shows. So.
Yeah, I noticed you've been really hitting Facebook hard.
I've committed to watching the 25 Days of Christmas, because I try to do so on the Halloween month. Try to watch a movie every single month. But obviously I didn't commit to it. Couldn't get that done. But you know what? I was like, I gotta at least do it for Christmas. Nice. So yeah, I've been trying to mix in a little of movies I've seen with movies I haven't, and I'm trying to focus on the ones that are on streaming services so people can easily access it. I know which ones I'm watching on Christmas Eve. I know which one I'm going to watch on Christmas Day. And the one on, as far as I know, those two you're probably not going to be able to find on streaming services. But traditionally, I always watch Holiday Inn on Christmas Eve and Patrick Stewart's Christmas Carol on Christmas Day.
Nice.
I'm not gonna break that tradition, but from December 1st up until today and going forward until the 23rd at least, I'm gonna be watching random holiday movies. And like I said, like a lot of them are the first time I've ever seen them. Like It's a Wonderful Life. Watched it for the first time this year.
Nice. I don't know if I've ever seen that. I know the story well enough that I'm just like, I don't feel like I need to see it, but
it's.
It was a great movie when there weren't that many movies.
It's a great movie for back in the time. I think it's a fantastic movie. I think the way it was sold to me was, I guess, a little bit backwards in my expectations of what it is. Because so when I hear about The Wonderful Life, my whole thought is that it's all based about going back in time. It's okay. Like, because my interpretation of how the movie works is it starts out with this dude on a bridge getting ready to jump because his life is miserable. Right. And then some angel comes down, stops him, and the entire movie is going through his life, showing things that would be different if he didn't exist.
Yeah, what would the world be like? What would the world have been like without you?
Yes. In that essence, if the movie was like that, I'd probably be more bought into it. But the thing was, like 75% of it was him living his life and everything, going good, miserable, taking it out on his family, taking it out on his kids, on his wife, drinking, all this stuff. And it's the last 25% where he's about like, you know what, F it, I'm going. Angel comes down, blah, blah, blah. And then he gets to the very end where, like, the bell rings and the woman or the kid says, every time a bell rings, an angel gets his wings. And the thing is, it's
I know
never
that was
really,
from that.
yes, it's never acknowledged that the angel that helped him was the angel that got his wings.
Oh.
So
the
everything
angel
about,
got his wings by helping him.
that's the expectation, was like, oh yeah, he, they earned their wings by doing good, and the angel that came down, I guess, was like a really old angel, has been there a while, can't really, wasn't really getting the job done. So finally said, hey, this guy's about to kill himself. Let's send the B team out there.
This guy's a lost cause.
Right?
Give it to Dave.
Exactly. Yeah. It's, like Gabriel, Peter, Michael. No, get Chuck.
Yeah.
Whatever. So it's
Serious.
It just wasn't the expectation I wanted. It wasn't the movie I was expecting to see.
Sure.
If they would have redone it where 25% of it was him living his life and the other 75% was his angel, like Christmas Carol. I mean, you got the beginning, but then it starts out like, hey, let's see your past, let's see your present. Now we're going. There's travel in it. It's like an ass backwards Quentin Tarantino version of the Christmas Carol. It's like I think for those who enjoy it, get what they want out of it. For me, it's not something great. What's the other movie I watched? The White Christmas. The Bing Crosby.
I like White Christmas. Yeah.
Not as good as Holiday Inn. Just wasn't. It just.
Fair.
It was good. Just wasn't Holiday Inn good. So, but I get to watch those. I'm watching movies I haven't seen in such a long time. Miracle on 34th Street. The one that had the actress who played Matilda in it, not the like original. I guess like the remake.
Gotcha.
I think the remake in like the 90s or whatever. I watched that one, and you know what? Yeah, it still holds up. I thought it was good. A couple of Disney ones. There was one what's it called? It's a Disney Channel original series one. I can't remember. I just watched it too. It's like the greatest Christmas present or whatever the hell it is. But the nostalgia of it is there. I kicked it off with the television version of The Grinch, the animated one. The original one that we saw, the cartoony one. I'm probably gonna end up watching the Jim Carrey one at some point. I do want to watch the Benjamin Cumberbatch. I think he did the Grinch and like the Illumination whatever animated one. I think it's going to come back, but I'm going to watch that one sometime this week. But yeah, it's just, dude, I love this holiday, and just like I said, I didn't get a chance to live up to my opportunity or my promise of doing it in Halloween, but I'm going to do it for Christmas. So
nice.
Yeah. I don't know we got Christmas movie wise. What's at the top of your list there when it comes to Christmas movies?
Die Hard, of course. No, I'm just kidding.
Yeah, don't be a monster. Do you believe Harry Potter is like a Christmas movie?
Yeah, people count it because they have Christmas in the movie, which is just like, I don't know. I mean, I realize that like I have no leg to stand on by saying that Die Hard is also a Christmas movie. But like at least the entirety of Die Hard happens over like the holiday weekend or whatever. Well, Harry Potter takes place Christmas over the whole night? Year. But yeah, you're right. It's just Christmas Eve night. You're right. Over night. Yeah.
Yeah. But see, and that's the thing too. It's like, for me, and the whole reason I don't believe Die Hard is a Christmas movie is because it's not centralized Christmas in any way. Like other than the fact that it's a Christmas party on Christmas Eve at the. Like, none of it has to do with, like, they're not stealing presents. They're not stopping Santa. They're not going after, like, it has nothing to do with the fact that it's Christmas. So
it's a family that's going through a tough time that is reunited during the holidays. In the spirit of Christmas and giving and stuff. He gives Hans Gruber a big old kick in the chest and knocks him out of the. He gives Hans Gruber a one-way trip to hell.
Yeah, so I mean, I guess
saves his family.
Festive, I guess.
It's a true meaning of Christmas.
Right? Just some crippled little child comes out after that saying, God bless us, everyone. But see, and realistically, I guess, if you were to look at it that way, if we look at it from my point of view, I'm like, it has nothing to do with Christmas. Technically, Christmas Carol has nothing to do with Christmas.
That's true.
Right? So I guess in the broad spectrum of everything, it's like what can and cannot be defined by what a Christmas movie is. Christmas Story, in a sense, it can be. It's like he's working on getting his BB gun for Christmas.
Right.
The Grinch is trying to steal Christmas, so I can understand that. Christmas with the Cranks. I mean, that whole movie, which I'm going to watch this week as well. It's all about a family trying to, just cancel Christmas. Say, I'm not doing Christmas. I'm taking a trip.
Right.
Yeah. So it's, I guess like deep down in your heart, what defines a Christmas? I guess, yes, if I sit here and say Die Hard is not a Christmas movie, then maybe I have to accept the fact that maybe The Christmas Carol is not a Christmas movie either. Holiday Inn is technically not a Christmas movie then, because it has to do with all holidays year round, like you said with Harry Potter. So I guess yeah. So
yeah, I don't know, but I was just kidding anyway. I
dude, I think right here, December 15th, 2024. I think I changed my mind officially. I think I think that happened. I wasn't expecting it. But
me either.
Maybe this was maybe.
But I actually don't know what my favorite Christmas movie is. Probably, we pretty much always watch White Christmas, when we're like putting the tree up or whatever. So I do love that one. I feel like maybe just that, and I feel like The Nightmare Before Christmas, is that a Christmas movie or is it a Halloween movie or is it both? But that's another favorite of mine. I really like it a lot. Those are probably my two favorites. We recently, just in the background, I think we had the Kurt Russell Christmas Chronicles going.
I debate if I want to see that one or not.
I really enjoyed it. But I wasn't like paying a lot of attention to it.
Yeah.
But when I was paying attention, it's a fun movie. It's a really, I'm not sure that it's a good movie, but it was fun. And like the concept of Santa as like an action hero, kind of a fun concept. Kind of enjoy that.
Yeah. I watched Red 1 over the weekend.
How was that? Yeah.
It wasn't horrible, but I mean that thing went to Amazon Prime pretty damn quick. So.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I saw that you last week, was it? You watched the Santa Claus and the Santa Claus 2?
I did.
Those are good. Those are pretty good. I really like those.
I watched them one day after another, and I completely forgot to do the post. That's why I combined it, and that's why I was like, okay, well, obviously I do Santa Claus 3 next. Santa Claus 3 is my least favorite. So it's like, I don't know if I'll even watch it. If I get to a point where like I'm running up, because that's the other thing too that I don't understand. There's not a whole lot of options for the traditional Christmas movies that I grew up in that's out there on streaming. Like I really want to watch Rudolph.
Oh, yeah.
Not available on streaming.
How did I forget about those?
Right? Like Charlie Brown Christmas. Not available on streaming, You go on Peacock, there's a bunch of Hallmark kinds, but it's like, but yeah, Santa Claus, I love the first one. The second one I can live with. I think it's awesome that, he has to find love, which, I'm big into romance and the fact that, hey, it's Christmas romance. I get it, I understand. But I don't know, just the third one with Jack Frost and everything is just.
I don't even remember it, to be honest with you.
Oh, Jack Frost convinces him to say, maybe I wish I was never Santa or whatever. And
that's right, because it's Martin Shore or whatever, right?
Yeah.
Gotcha.
Yeah, so it's kind of like, I don't know, like, have you ever heard the big complaint that people have with Ghost Rider, like the Nicolas Cage one, where, like, he's reading a book and he instantly controls the power of the Ghost Rider? Like, it didn't, like, really take him long to actually do it. people still make the same comparison to Santa Claus 3, where it's like he say he doesn't want to be Santa, and then like within like 15 minutes he solves his problem.
Jeez.
So, yeah. So, if I'm in a bind and I can't find anything I want to watch, I'll probably end up watching that one. But I want to I want to avoid rewatching like duplicates and stuff. Like I do want to watch the Benjamin Cumberbatch Grinch because I've never seen it. I don't know if I'll watch the Jim Carrey one because I've seen it, often enough where I know how it goes. And it's the same with the Christmas Carol. I don't want to watch a bunch of different Christmas carols because I did that last year. I watched like 9 to 12 of them and rated and reviewed them all.
Yeah, like now you know your favorite. That's really the only one you should ever watch again.
Yeah, and you never watch the FX one.
Until it's time to test and see if your taste's changed.
Ooh, maybe I'll do that next year. Yeah, just never watch the FX one. It's absolutely horrible. Anyone out there, never watch. Yeah, and it's horrible because they didn't stick to the concept of the movie. Yeah, and the fact that Scrooge isn't like some old dude, but he's some middle-aged guy, and he's pretty much just sexually assaulting Cratchit's wife. And
that's right. I forgot about that.
Yeah, unfortunately, I'll never forget about that one. That's
Well, I still haven't watched it. I just have your review to remember off of. So
I wouldn't watch it. Not one bit.
Yeah.
The Man Who Invented Christmas.
The Man Who Invented Christmas.
It was basically the story about how Charles Dickens created A Christmas Carol.
That's cool.
First time I watched it, it came out a few years ago, but this is the first time I watched it this year, and it blows my mind how I didn't watch it before, because it's a story about a story that I love. But that one was really, I mean, I so far, if I could go, I can't remember. I've watched like 15 of them, 14 of them, so if I had to guess, Polar Express was the first time. Christmas Story, obviously, Elf. Christmas Vacation, I did not like. I mean, I still give it a 3, but it wasn't like the best. Yeah, I don't know. When you watch White Christmas, do you watch the black and white version or the colored version?
I think it just depends on whatever's available on streaming. I think I've watched both. I probably would pick the color version because I really like Technicolor.
I got Holiday Inn on Blu-ray, and it has the black and white, the color, and it actually has a musical, like a Broadway musical rendition of Holiday Inn with it. I never watched the actual like Broadway musical version of it, but I always go for the black and white one. I don't know, seeing it in color just kind of, it's not the same.
Mm-hmm.
But it's been a minute, but Thanksgiving, was it good? Did you do anything fun?
Oh yeah, it was fine. Yeah, nothing. I mean, not that it wasn't fun, but nothing special.
Yeah.
Went to grandma's for the day of, and then went to Maddie's mom's the next day. So
gotcha.
It was fine. Had some the biggest thing was the introduction of Thanksgiving ravioli, which we've just to try and have some kind of entree that's like vegetarian. Grandma made big ravioli for Maddie, and it was good. It was really good ravioli, and it was really good sauce.
Spinach?
No, it was just regular cheese ravioli. Could have been spinach. That would have been good. But no, it was just regular. Yeah. Kind of a fun change.
In your opinion, what's the difference between a ravioli and a pierogi?
That literally, I would. Who's making it?
Right.
So if it's the Italians, it's a ravioli. Right. If it's
so one's just dumped in sauce and shit.
Yeah, I think so. Because like a pierogi, would usually be served with like gravy, but the Italians sometimes call tomato sauce gravy.
The pierogies I usually get, there's no sauce on them, but like it'll come with like a horseradish or like a sauerkraut dip on the side. The insides though, like I'll eat whatever, man. Between the potato one or the sauerkraut one or a meat filled one, yeah, I love a good pierogi. But even then, like, what's the difference between a calzone and a pierogi? Other than one's baked, one's like steamed or whatever the hell it is.
Yeah, that's basically it.
Yeah, I mean, if you step
the size,
by step,
maybe
mini pierogies, you know, right? Or mini calzones and shit. Yeah, I mean, I love food. I don't apologize for it. I mean, I hate the fact I'm fat, but I just love food too much. And I think about shit like that. Like, I mean, like, okay, ravioli, it's a pierogi, yeah, calzone. Stromboli, I mean, they're not much, they're not far off from calzones. So, Hot Pockets. Somebody once told me, what the hell was it? What the hell? A beef Wellington.
Very fancy corn dog.
Yeah. Chicken Kiev, kind of, yeah.
Yeah. Same, what's the word? Same sport, different ballpark or something like that.
When was the last time you ever had a corn dog that wasn't at a fair or a carnival?
I'm almost never had a corn dog at a fair or a carnival. I've almost only ever had them at home in like a microwave or an oven.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. You gotta get a fair corn dog, bro.
Yeah, I'm sure they're delicious.
Gotta get it, especially when you get like the foot long ones.
Right? Yeah, that would be delicious. That'd be really good. Also on the topic of Thanksgiving ravioli, so Kenny and Kevin were at Grandma's too, and Kevin was like enamored. He was just like, the concept of ravioli for Thanksgiving is the craziest thing I've ever heard of. Like, gotta have it, can't wait to have it, whatever. Well, as we're sitting there eating it, Uncle Kirk texts and says that he and Gail are having Thanksgiving ravioli also. And so K-Man immediately calls Kirk and is like, hey, what do you mean you're having Thanksgiving ravioli too? There's no way we're both having ravioli for Thanksgiving. But the difference was Kirk's ravioli was a raviolo filled with like turkey and mashed potatoes and stuffing. And then the gravy was like a cranberry sauce gravy. And so it was like an actual Thanksgiving themed ravioli, not just ravioli on Thanksgiving.
Did they buy those types of raviolis, or they made their own type?
I'm not sure. I low key hope they made it, but
I do too.
Only because it would taste better, I assume, than store bought.
It surprises me with how close your family is not everyone's getting together for Thanksgiving.
Right? Yeah, I agree.
Like that and Easter are the family together holidays. Yep. It blows my mind that your family does not get together for that.
Yeah, I agree. I agree. So, matter of fact, we were talking about like what our ideal Thanksgiving would be, and I was like, my main thing is like everybody getting together.
Yeah.
You know.
Well, Thanksgiving Day used to be at Oak Forest.
Thanksgiving, yeah, for a long time it was in Oak Forest, and then it moved to Fowler, I think, with Grandma and Grandpa.
Yeah. I know Christmas Eve was in Oak Forest. I remember
Christmas Eve was always in Oak Forest. Yep.
Yeah. Me. No, I guess it's not 100% accurate, but me going to that kind of cost me my job at Burcott's, but I didn't give a shit.
Nuts. Yeah, I can see that.
That was just one of those. It was just weird because it's like they scheduled me, and they weren't supposed to schedule me because it wasn't part of my availability. It was very similar to McDonald's. As far as I know, I was never officially fired from Burcott's. It wasn't even Burcott's. It was Seahousen's. I was never actually fired from Seahousen's. I was suspended because I didn't show up to work or something on like Christmas Day. But I didn't have to show up for work on Christmas Day because I worked Christmas Eve. But I didn't work like the full shift Christmas Eve. I left early. Anyways. But seasons no longer exist, so
Yeah.
I guess I call
So they
that.
just used it as an excuse to.
It's just like with McDonald's when they self-terminate people because no one ever gets fired. You just do something to cause yourself to be terminated. You basically force yourself to quit.
Of course.
Yeah. But yeah, no, holidays back. I mean, obviously they're so much easier, when you're not an adult spread across the country and shit like that. And I get like, Kirk and Gail are a little bit different because they're out in Iowa, and you look at, where you are compared to Houston and Michael compared to us, but I mean, even then, I guess realistically, we never had family holidays together, except maybe Easter.
Right.
But I don't know if it was even really on Easter. I don't remember our holidays really, to be honest with you.
Yeah. For years it was. It's hard to remember. Step
families is hard. It's definitely tricky, and I know like growing up, it was always a decision between like, okay, Thanksgiving is my dad's, Christmas Eve is my dad's, Christmas Day is my mom's, Easter is my mom's. The other ones really didn't matter, like Memorial Day, 4th of July, none of those like really mattered. But yeah, it's just goofy. I sympathize with anyone who has split families and stuff, and they can't figure out whose holidays go to what. And being married, you incorporate one, maybe two other families into your holiday plans, and it's like, which one do you go to on what days and stuff. Thanksgiving's easy because Mom and Carl don't do Thanksgiving.
Right.
So just for them, it's one less to worry about, so I go to my dad's. You still got 2 or 3 families you got to deal with.
Yep.
Sucks for you, but. No.
Yeah. We used to keep track, but we kind of stopped after we moved.
Yeah. I got you. Well, she, because out in Indiana, that's where her mom lives.
Yeah.
Yeah, and they're like Mennonites or some goofy shit, right?
No, I mean they're not, but they live out in that that area.
What do Mennonites do for holidays? They celebrate holidays?
I don't know. I never thought about it. I'm sure they have Christmas.
They could come.
They probably don't do it like us, but
we could talk to them, right? We could interview a Mennonite because they're Amish with electricity, right? Is that how they work?
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah. Well, I know they got fucking license.
Yeah, well, it's like a square rectangle thing, right? So it's like all squares are rectangles. So all the Amish are Mennonites, but not all Mennonites are Amish.
I'll have to ask them. I guess see if we can find one to come on the show and talk to them, try to explain shit. They come in right after somebody explains to me how space works.
Right. There's a bunch of TikTokers who are like former Amish or whatever, they'd probably be chill to talk to.
Yeah, but I want to talk to the ones that like been grizzled by it. I want to talk to somebody who actually lives that life. Like that's what I want. Mm-hmm. But I know like you can't.
Gotcha. Know somebody who left.
Yeah, I mean, if somebody who left, because when they leave, like at that time, it's around the time they're 16 or 18, whatever that Rumspringer or however to pronounce it. But like, I want to talk to like somebody who's like in their 40s, who's like lived that life, who has no problem with me putting up a camera, without having the fear that their soul's gonna be sucked into it or whatever their belief is on electricity.
Yeah.
I wanna talk to that guy. I want to talk to the guy who's out there fucking lifting up barn walls with rope.
Mm-hmm.
I want that guy. Yeah. That one guy who's seen some shit. I don't know.
Great.
Yeah, no, I don't know. Thanksgiving was good for me. It's very, very boring. Went to Sherry's. I think we're done. I was back home and napping by 3 o'clock. So it's my preferred way of enjoying the holidays. No Black Friday shopping this year, though. No, Mom and Carl were out in Florida, so I had no one to go with.
Gotcha. Don't want to go by yourself?
Half the time when I go,
defeats the fun.
Yeah, half the time when I go, it was just for the sole purpose of just spending time with Mom.
Gotcha.
Just like getting to. And I always did Menards because she always went shopping on like Thanksgiving and stuff with her friends. then we would go to like Menards like 3 a.m, and then like she'd sit outside for like half an hour until like 3:30, and then I would sit out there for the next hour and a half, keep in line and stuff. And more times than not, I'd just be sleeping there like a homeless person. But then, yeah, the doors open, we'd run around, grab what we need and everything, and I would grab a couple things here and there, like what I need tool-wise. But I just got to a point now where, like, I don't need anything. It was just nice to just go, you know?
Yeah.
What I need to do is I need to get all those appliances out of my garage so I can park in my garage, but...
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Oh, and fuck tires, bro.
Oh, yeah, they're ridiculous.
Holy, yeah, I had to buy tires. I bought tires this weekend. No way. Absolutely not.
Yeah,
I think I got a great deal, but...
Yeah. I haven't had to buy tires in a really long time, and I'm dreading it.
I bought a set of tires. I bought 2 sets of tires in the span of the last 2 years.
Oh, brutal.
But that's because I put a set of 4 brand new tires on my truck 3 months before the engine blew, and I had to buy tires on these, a year and a half after I bought the car. But I got to the point where I needed them, like 9 months ago when we were driving to Michigan. I was like, these will last us. We'll be fine. At that point, I should have gotten tires, but
gotcha.
But we survived. We made it.
Yeah.
I
think my muffler is dying.
Your muffler?
Yeah, on my Subaru. So just it sounds real rough as I'm driving. And I noticed today I was getting some backfiring noises. Which is not a sound you want your engine to make, to say the least.
No, and you can't go out and buy a new one. You can't even go out and buy a used one. Yeah, there was a buddy of mine in this TARP Grand Theft Auto game. He said he was looking at I think he said it was like a 2017 pickup truck for 18 or 20 grand. It's insane, dude.
Yeah. Well, that's my biggest problem with my current car is I still owe $6,000 on it, and it's not worth $6,000. No.
But see, and I don't know a lot about auto insurance, but I'm guessing I assume I'm right when I say if the engine was to die, I'm on my own.
Yeah.
I don't think the insurance covers anything that just mechanically fails, No,
only accidents.
Yeah, and that's the terrible part of it. It's like, in hopes to be covered, I need the car to be in an accident in order to be good.
Mm-hmm.
But if I have to buy a used vehicle for X amount of dollars, I still owe a decent chunk of my car. I think I owe about $8,000.
Woof.
And it's just the hopes is that it lasts until it gets paid off, and then you just wash, rinse, repeat it all over again.
Yep.
And you look at vehicles, and the vehicle I want, I can't afford, and the vehicle I don't want is I can barely afford that one either. And you can look at cheap cars, which I didn't even know if there was a 3-cylinder vehicle out there. I didn't know 3-cylinder existed. I thought 4 was the smallest, but apparently not. And even those cars are $18,000, $20,000, $22,000. Yeah, you want to buy a V6 pickup truck, you're looking at $40,000. It's insane that cars are this expensive. No, it's. I don't know. My only saving grace is I hope by January that the interest rate on houses go down, and that'll save some kind of money.
Yeah.
That's what I'm hearing. I don't want to jinx it. I'm knocking on some wood, but yeah, it just something needs to get better because I do need to get a better vehicle down the line. And so who knows? Maybe by December when we head to Iowa, we'll see if I'm still in the Malibu or something different. So, which by the way, don't know why, but I already got Iowa set up. So
nice.
Yeah. I had a lot of time to kill the other day, so
nice. Fun. Looking forward to it.
Me too. I know there's at least four spots we're going to go to where we're not going to view the cemeteries. We're just viewing interesting parts of the cemeteries.
Interesting. All right.
Yeah, so without giving too much away, one has something called a devil's chair, which we've talked about.
Oh yeah, we talked about the devil's chair. Mm-hmm.
Two of them have black angels, and one of them has a blue angel. So,
All right.
Yeah, so we're literally going to go there, talk about the cemetery, and we're just going to shoot the footage of the thing we're going to see. Based on how everything is right now, we can actually get it done in 2 days. I know we're originally talking about being a 3-day trip, but it is possible to do it in 2 days.
Nice.
If we do decide to add things, we could make it a 3-day trip. Because there are other interesting parts of Iowa that we could see. One thing I was looking at is there's a lot of Native American chiefs buried at certain cemeteries in parts of Iowa that we could almost make an entire video of their burial spots if we chose to. So there's, I mean, because basically we're going to be driving from Illinois all the way to the back end of Iowa and then back. So we're going to drive in the north stop here to the middle and then, to the very end and down to south back. So we could turn into 3 days if we decide to add additional stops and stuff to it. Otherwise, it's us leaving early in the morning, driving out, doing the stuff, getting dinner, going to bed, waking up, grabbing dinner when we get back to the border of Iowa and Illinois, and then heading home. Because there's two places there's one place I definitely want to check out, but that's on the Illinois-Iowa border. And believe it or not, which is kind of weird to think about, is like that's not that far. It's like 3 hours, if that.
Yeah, right.
So it would be like 8 a.m. when we hit that. So the place I would want to grab lunch at would obviously be too early, but when we head on the way back, we'd hit it around like 3:30, 4 o'clock.
Nice.
So, yeah. So I mean, we got plenty of time to plan it all out. We got 10 months. So, but the idea of where we're going, or obviously, like I mentioned before, is like there's 12 cemeteries. 4 of them are just those highlighted. The other 8 are walking cemeteries. So we're going to try to get away from the driving around cemetery parts and everything. Just because it just seems that people enjoy the walking around ones and stuff like too.
Oh, nice.
So this way we're not accused of rushing the videos.
Is that what we're being accused of?
That's what I was told.
Gotcha.
It's like we're just going to drive through them. What's the point of doing them? It's like, I can respect that. A lot of those driving ones were bigger ones, though, and my favorite ones, the Indianapolis one, the Aretha Franklin, Anne Frank one. Yeah,
right.
Those were. So, but a lot of the ones we're going to see, there's a lot of history to them, and they're definitely walking around. So there's one that's pretty big. We may not catch all of it, but definitely catch the order side of it. So.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Sweet.
Yeah, Joe. I don't know. I know we got this show. We're gonna do one more show before the end of the year. We can focus more on the season, the ending of this year on the next one. But what's your plans for Thanksgiving? What are you thinking about? What's your Christmas plans like? I guess.
Gotcha. Oh,
did I say Thanksgiving?
Yeah, you did.
What's your Christmas plans? Yeah.
Yeah. Kind of same. I mean, I gotta work Christmas Eve, obviously. Nature of the job. And then Christmas Day, we're at Maddie's folks in Indiana. And then 2 days later, we're at Maddie's dad's house. And then 2 days later, we're at my mom's. And then 2 days later, Michael gets married. So I don't know what's going on with my dad yet. I haven't talked to him.
Well, I know we're gonna be at the wedding, which is it's a wild concept for me and how that's working out.
Yeah.
I don't get it. I mean, I understand it. I just don't understand it at the same time. It's like, I get the whole getting married on New Year's Eve. It's special. I understand that. I hate the fact that's on a Tuesday. I hate the fact that it's gonna be. It's going to be awesome that fact I don't have to be at work, which is kind of cool. But it's also, I don't like the fact that, me and Carl are leaving work at the very end of the year to go to a wedding on the last day of the year. And the wedding's at 2 o'clock, and then everything's done by 8 p.m.
Right.
And I'm just like, it's like, okay, well, we could have done this on a Sunday. You know, it's like we're not even going to be there at the reception for like a countdown to the new year or anything like that. So, but it'll be interesting. Hopefully the weather's nice, because driving through the middle of Indianapolis or Indiana with the blizzard and stuff isn't always fun. But,
yeah, that'll be terrible if that happens.
Yeah. Plus your drive is longer than mine, but I'm assuming you're going to stay down there.
I don't know. I haven't really thought about it. Probably not, though, because one of our cats is diabetic, so we got to get back and get him fed and get his insulin.
You got 60 days to figure it out.
Yep.
Yeah.
I'm not worried about it.
No. Other than Christmas, yeah, that's about it. Just Christmas Day, moms, dads, and that's about it, because I got to go back to work the next day. That's another thing that's stupid, and I don't understand, and I wish businesses could figure that out. It's like, if Christmas is on a Wednesday, you're going to give people off on a Wednesday, just give them Thursday and Friday too. Hey, Merry Christmas, you know. Tell you what, just give me Christmas Day to New Year's Day off, and we'll just come back on January 2nd.
Right.
I was like, what's the big deal?
Yeah.
I don't know.
There's somebody somewhere who wouldn't be able to buy a new yacht next year if that happened, and you can't have that.
Yeah. How does your Christmas Eve sermon go?
Sermon?
You know what you call it? Christmas Eve sermon? You say you got work Christmas Eve, right?
Oh yeah. Oh, service. Yeah.
Isn't that the same thing? Sermon? Service?
Well, the sermon is the speech in the middle of it.
Yeah. So how does your Christmas Eve service go then? Like what do you guys do for that? Like,
so we the thing that makes it different from other services is we bring in special music. So we've got a vocalist and a violinist who are going to be playing and singing throughout the service. And then at the end of the service, we also have we do we call it a candlelight service, where we light a bunch of little candles and turn the lights off, and then we sing Silent Night in the Dark by candlelight. And it's really fun. It's special. Something we only do for Christmas. So
I think the last Christmas service I went to, I was dating Jenna, and it was a Lutheran. They did the candle thing.
Gotcha. Yeah.
And they had I don't know what it was. It was like a piece of cardboard on the candle to protect people's hands from the dripping wax.
Yep, we got those.
But if I remember correctly, it wasn't just a plastic like rim. It was like a cup.
Interesting.
It was almost like a Dixie cup or something that they put around.
Ours is just it's just a
cardboard disc.
Circular piece of cardboard.
Yeah. Yeah. The only reason I remember it being like a cup.
Yeah, you can get them with the cups.
Well, the only reason I remember it being a cup is because Jenna's grandma was holding it on a weird angle, and the flame was hitting the tip of the cup, and the cup caught on fire inside the church. Geez. Yeah, it was.
I'm so glad that hasn't happened.
Well, now that you took the carpet out, it's a little bit safer. So.
Yeah.
And lucky for them, they had linoleum or whatever, but it wasn't a bad situation. Like it just started to like flare up a little bit, so all they just had to do was just blow it out real quick. But it's just weird, like when you sit there and watch somebody like kind of panic, and you kind of look over like, Jesus Christ, he's grabbing them. It's just it's just wild. But they need to watch how they do. I think the plastic disc is the better option, because you're not, or drop the little Dixie cup lower.
Right.
I love when they do that though. But I think they did. I don't think they did Silent Night. Can't remember how they did, but it was definitely a slower one.
Nice.
But yeah, no, that's cool, man. I'm glad. Yeah, it's in the evening, I guess, 7 p.m. or whatever it is. Or...
Yeah, we're doing ours as early as possible, which for us is 6 o'clock.
Gotcha.
With the idea that hopefully it's an hour service, give or take, and then people have time to go still make it to Christmas dinner.
Gotcha.
For those people who do that.
Yeah, Libby. I don't know if you remember her or not. Her church does one, but I think it's at like 8. It's like
Nice.
late.
Yeah, it's really popular, or it used to be really popular to do like a midnight service. So
Yeah.
a lot of my old people are like, yeah, we used to do it at midnight, and it'd be like this and like this. And I look at the younger people who, of course, are in their 60s, and it's just like, why don't we do it at midnight? And they're like, we got shit to do. Okay,
Midnight.
I guess that's an option.
Midnight would be a wild concept to do nowadays.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So, well, my thing with midnight is like, nothing else. It would be actually a time when nothing else is going on for the vast majority of our people. But, then you'd also have to risk people being drunk or whatever because it's Christmas Eve and they were drinking a bottle of wine with the family and, which is fine. I don't know why I said it like that. Wouldn't be me ever in my life, but it has been. So.
Yeah, people get merry. Then definitely they get a little bit merrier in the time. But
right.
Yeah, I mean it's. I don't know. I don't see people being up at midnight anymore like they used to.
No, it's just not a thing.
Yeah, I think 6 o'clock is fine. Like I said, it's early enough in the evening where people can still catch dinner. It's early enough in the evening to still go do their holiday celebrations with their family and stuff. And you're not.
Yeah. Honestly, we would have done it at like 5 or 5:30, but the musicians couldn't make it. So.
Gotcha. Are they gonna do Carol of the Bells on the violin?
Maybe. I have no idea. I don't really talk. I just I put them in the bulletin like it's your time. Do whatever you want with it.
Nice.
So they're kind of especially the not to slam the singer who is also fantastic, but the musician is like a world renowned. It's actually kind of amazing that she comes and plays at our church. Like practically for the fun of it. I mean, I know we don't pay her enough that it's like worth the trip.
Is she from the area?
No, she lives in like South Dakota.
Really? Wow.
Yeah.
Oh, hey. I guess if you want to come anywhere other than South Dakota, Chicago's not a bad option. So.
Right. I mean, it'd be like going probably from Chicago to Florida in terms of the temperature change that time of year.
Oh God, yeah, 100%. What do you think about, Joe?
Probably. There's a show on Amazon Prime that I just finished right before we were hopping on called Secret Level.
Okay.
It's kind of like if you ever watched Love, Death, and Robots on Netflix. And it's a 8-episode anthology series. Each episode is like a different video game. And it's like a story told in the world of that video game. But like, if it was not a video game, I guess. I don't know how else to describe it. But yeah, so like there's like a Pac-Man one and an Armored Core one and a Warhammer 40,000 one, and it's fun. It's fun show. Really enjoyed it. Each episode's like I think the shortest one's like 7 minutes, the longest one's like 30. So you can kind of bang through them real quick, and it's beautifully animated. And had a good time watching it.
Okay.
Yeah. So what about you? What are you freaking thinking about?
Colin told me about this new this new game coming out called Split Fiction.
Oh, I heard about that. That sounds awesome.
Yeah, well, we played this one game called It Takes Two, which basically was these parents who were fighting and I guess divorcing ended up becoming like sock puppets, and they had to like maneuver their way through like their yard and their house and all this shit to get back to like a certain place in their home to become human again or whatever. I guess it's the same creators as this. The only difference is, I guess, with this, it sounds a lot like Assassin's Creed or The Matrix, where you go into a machine and it puts you into an alternate universe.
Right. Yeah.
And I guess with this one, it's two authors who've never met each other. One does like fantasy, one does like science fiction, and they go to this place where this big building. They're supposed to put you into this pod, and it takes your story and turns it into reality for you. You can walk through it and blah, blah, blah. And I guess these two women accidentally end up in the same pod at the same time. So now their stories are commingled. So now it's like fantasy sci-fi and shit. And I guess the guy who created this project is stealing people's ideas. I guess they catch on, and now the whole point of the story is to get through to the end so you can get out of this fantasy world and stuff. But he was telling me about it. It's not coming out till like February or something like that.
Yeah,
I think it's
like
February
that.
or March, but I'm excited to try it. You know, like I don't play a lot of co-op games with people. Colin's like the only one I really do, and you know, like he's, you know, now that we can do it, you know, from his house to my house, and you know, so it's it's a little fun. So yeah, I was kind of learning up on it. I decided I want to be Zoe, so she's gonna be the fantasy writer over the science fiction writer. So
Nice.
Yeah. So yeah, just been kind of learning more. Like I'm more invested in it just because I was on a recent Power Hour podcast, and they're talking a lot about Dungeons and Dragons and how I used to play it with Colin and a bunch of other people before the guy who was our dungeon master, Terry, unfortunately passed away. And we haven't really done it since. But there's this bar in Homewood where on Sunday evenings they actually do a huge like D&D game.
Yeah,
you come in, do your, put together your character and be part of this adventure. They do it every Sunday, and so I was thinking about maybe that's something I could do. Like if I get like Colin or Michelle was interested in it, or if you ever wanted to make the trip on a Sunday evening down here, like maybe someone go check out Rabbit Brewing in Homewood and kind of see what it's about. But it's kind of a cool concept. So yeah,
nice.
I guess I've been thinking about a lot about fantasy games and shit.
Good deal.
Yeah. Hey, Joe.
Yeah.
Every week, our listeners catch Cartoon Joe here on This Freakin' Show. But for an hour a week of Cartoon Joe just isn't enough. Where can you go?
If you need more Cartoon Joe, you can find me over the Geekcast Live podcast at violentpress.com. You can also find us on Facebook, iTunes, Spotify, and Twitter by searching Geekcast Live.
Excellent.
This is a Blue Sky. We did join Blue Sky.
That's the new Twitter?
Yeah, it's the new Twitter.
Blue Sky.
Yeah. It's fun. I like Blue Sky.
Awesome.
Good time over there.
Yeah.
Yep.
Glad, man. I'm glad. Yeah, it's awesome. Where they could again, like when Facebook started, in my mind, maybe I guess more like Instagram, whatever. I guess the concept of social media was supposed to be the end. Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, like that's it, And
right.
When Vine ended, you would think like, well, nobody's ever gonna create a whole new Vine, and then lo and behold, TikTok is far more successful and everything. But it's cool that it shows that social media isn't just set in what's there, that there's an evolution and a growth to have other things. That's pretty cool. So.
Yeah, agreed.
Well, for the time being, we're still found on Facebook, Instagram, and X just by searching This Freakin' Show. Obviously, Facebook is the one we use most often. Instagram is like every once in a while, and I don't think I've really touched Twitter in God knows how long, but I don't know. Facebook is mostly. Yeah, so follow us over on Facebook. If you listen to us wherever you decide to listen to your podcast, we're all there. Just search This Freakin' Show. If you want to watch our episodes, you can do so over at the Freaknet Studios YouTube channel. All you do is search Freaknet Studios. We'll pop up. Subscribe to us. The hopes is in 2025 is this concept idea I have for a show. We're going to start doing more often, and it's going to utilize a lot more people in Freaknet Studios than just Joe and myself. So. I got a couple ideas for some upcoming content, I guess. So let's go over there and subscribe so when it pops up, you can see it. So that's all I got, guys. As always, I'm Travis Singh.
And I'm Cartoon Joe.
And thank you for listening to another episode of This Freakin' Show. I'm out.